tricky conversation that I want to bring to you today. Hi, it's May and it's Wednesday at 6 p.m. It's my favorite time of the week because I get to go live and do my Hot Life, Hot Love relationship and dating tips. Please share and subscribe to my YouTube channel. This is where I'm going to store all of these Facebook Live in the future. So, onward with today's conversation. What happened in a relationship, in a long-term relationship, where two people are committed to each other, committed to the relationship, and yet it reached a point where one person wants to expand and experience more and more, and the other person is like, what are you doing to the relationship? Everything was fine. Why do you have to go and mess things up like this? You're wanting too much, and what's wrong? What's wrong? You know, and it's a really tricky place because, and this place tends to happen for people who are entering empty nesters. Everything is fine, you know, you got your routines down, you're good partners to each other, you've accomplished great things, you probably raised some great children, and now they're gone, and you are supposed to look at each other and going, okay, it's just you and me, babe, let's go do this. And everything that you had avoided in the past because you're too busy with your career or your business and raising children and keeping the household running, all of that has subsided, and now you're looking at each other and going, who are you, and how do we go forward together? And a lot of stuff will come up for the couple. This hit me actually not in my empty nest phase, but actually when I was turning 40, and with my ex-husband and I at that time when I was ready to expand, and he was just thrown into a boatload of fear. And when that happened, we felt really isolated. We felt like, oh my gosh, we're the only one that's going through this by ourselves. There's something wrong with our relationship. It must be over. I don't feel that attraction for him anymore, or I feel the love but not the attraction. All of that stuff came up, and we didn't know how to go get help, and we didn't even know that that was normal for us. So then I thought the only option was to break up the relationship and move on and find something better. But that's not really the answer. This is a very normal situation for all couples, for all people who choose to come together and have a long-term relationship with each other. So I want to just dive in a little bit deeper on the challenges of this situation, and what are some like quick guideline or guideposts so that you know that you're not alone, and you know you can have a sense. Because I know for me, when I was going through that and feeling really alone and didn't know that there are clear answer, and that what I was going through was actually a normal process in relationship, I didn't know. I wish I knew what I knew now, and that this is one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about helping women and couple to really ignite or reignite your relationship so that you can have what I call the hot life with hot love that you so long for. And you deserve to have this, and you both want this. That's what's so tricky or funny or ironic about this, is at the bottom, underneath all of this, is that you both want more love, more great sex with each other, more connection, more intimacy with each other, and yet somehow it feels like talking about this or going for this feels like it's going to jeopardize everything that you have built up to now. Okay, so let's talk about the pain of this first. So the pain is that you do have security, you do have longevity, you do know each other so well that, and you do have a set of routine and set of expectation with each other. So when one person expands and wants more exploration, more sex, just more of life, you know, like you're done raising children, you have more energy now, so you have more time, so you're looking and you're like, oh my God, something is awakened inside me, and she wants out, or he wants out, and he wants to go play, he wants to experience the world, he wants to know more of himself. And the other person feels like, oh my gosh, if you want that, then that means that I haven't been good enough to you. That means that there's something wrong with this relationship, or that I haven't done right by you. And then with the aging, usually when this happens, we're older. So we're looking at late 40s or 50s or even in our 60s. And it's like, oh, geez, I'm not getting any younger. I don't look as cute as I used to, or I'm not skinny, or I'm whatever, right? We have all this stuff. So then it's really frightening to enter this conversation when you have such an established base. You have your wealth, you have your houses, you have your relationship, you have your routines all set up, and then one of you look like he or she is shaking things up, and you're going to wreck everything. And it throws the relationship into confusion, into questioning, into doubt, into turmoil. And it doesn't have to be that way. Truly, it doesn't. So here's the good news about this, is that your relationship wants more from you. So when two people came together in your 20s, you came together because the relationship wants you to have babies, wants you to establish, wants you to create a structure, a life for yourself. So you said yes, and so you came together and you work on that. And then after you're done with that, now the relationship wants something else from you. It wants you to grow. It wants you to have passion back. It wants you to be all that you can be, because that's your right. That's your rightful place in this lifetime. So you can trust that, but most of the time we don't realize that, so we think that we're wrecking it, and the person who's wanting more feels guilty, because it's like, oh, I'm too selfish, I'm making him or her feel bad, or what I want is wrong, so I shouldn't even say what I want. So we try to suppress and contain, and then it's like a boiling pot. You can't suppress and contain so long, so then it explodes, and then it's like, I hate you, I want out of here, kind of thing, and then you end up fighting for the wrong reason, or fighting because you didn't know how else to talk about this thing. So, and speaking of that, we also lack the skills to talk about these desire, this place, because we're just so filled with rules and with shame, and with what we've been misled, mistaught by our parents and society and church and politics and all this stuff, So we don't have the language and the communication skills and the support to have these kind of conversations, because it's so scary. So all of that add to the complexity of being an empty nester, looking at your relationship, wanting more sex, wanting more exploration, wanting more expansion in your relationship, and not knowing how to do it. Very, very painful place. I totally get it. I help so many couples going through this. I know this place, and me myself have gone through it with my ex, and since we didn't know what to do, so that relationship broke apart. And now I'm with my current partners. We've been together for 10 years, and we're at that place again, like I want to expand, I want to experience, I want to know more, I want my freedom, and I want my security, and I want my relationship with him intact. So how do we maneuver through this stuff? Oh, it's just so tender, so beautiful, so complex. And the most important thing to remember is that no one is at fault. No one is to blame. Please do not blame yourself, and do not blame each other for wanting this, or being faced with the invitation to entertain this place, because it's a natural state of the relationship. And if you can know that this is a natural state of the relationship, and on the other side of it is more intimacy, more love, a truer understanding of each other, grab each other's hands, you can do this together with the right guidance, with the right support. It's going to be really hot, I promise you. And it doesn't have to take a long time either. What I find is that when couples have the right guidance and the right community to support them, oh my gosh, you can accomplish this in 6 months to a year, you know, to just turn the relationship so that you can really have the kind of love and intimacy and communication that you so long for and you so deserve. And your kids are looking at you to go through this so that they can emulate this, right? They're like, how did mom and dad do this? And most of us grew up with mom and dads who didn't do this very well. They either suppress themselves until they have cancer and die, or they cheat and lie to each other and then they break the marriage up, or they just stay, you know, resentful and all that delicious stuff that they've been dishing out to each other. Scary. So know that on the other side of this, the invitation from the relationship is a very powerful one, and that there's nothing wrong with your relationship, and please get the right guidance to support you. And both sides needs to work on this. So the man needs to work on reclaiming what I call his king, so that he takes leadership, so that he takes leadership in bed. You know, I hate to say this, but us women have trained our men to disempower them, to take away a lot of their power in bed and in the kitchen and in life. So the men need to learn to reclaim that, and the woman, because we have to take on so much responsibilities, raising kids, going to work, balancing all of this stuff, making dinner, all that stuff, turn us into really masculine self, really strong, independent women. We can do everything, you know, but the one thing that we cannot do, that we need to learn how to do, is to learn to surrender. Learn to surrender and to trust in our man again, to trust that he's there for us, and that he will meet us, and he will love us, and he will rise to his king. And when we surrender to him, he gets bigger and stronger, which is exactly what we want, right? I mean, secretly, all of us women, we want to have our man grab us by the hair and take us in the bedroom and turn us on, and it's hot and it's fun. But over time, our men have become afraid of us and feel very disempowered to do that for us, and we don't trust them to do that well. So then it's just all kind of wacko. So this is like a complex subject, right? I'm going to try to squeeze it in a 5 or 10 minutes talk. So just know that those are the two key places to know that there's nothing wrong, and that the women need to undo something and the men need to reclaim something. And then together you can really have the relationship that you want. Enough for today. If you want more, give me a call. You know, Facebook message me. You're on my wall, so you can Facebook message me, and we can talk more about how to help you maneuver through this challenging area of your life. Challenging but beautiful and powerful, and I totally trust that you will have the love that you so hunger for and deserve to have with each other. All right, have a great night, everyone, and